Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video, we're going to talk start collecting Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and today we're going to take a look at the Beasts of Chaos Vanguard box set and how we can use this particular box set to start a Beasts of Chaos army. Now in this video we're going to go through the contents of the box set, talk about what all these units can do on the tabletop before having a look at some other units we can use to expand upon after this initial purchase. We'll then finally finish off the video with a little sample army list of 1,000 points for you to use as some inspiration for starting your own Beasts of Chaos army for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. And so, with all of that said, we get a character model inside this box that is the Great Bray Shaman. Now, the Great Bray Shaman is a pretty basic wizard, one cast, one unbind for the Great Bray Shaman, but it also does bring some other things to the table as well. It can add 6 inches to the range of heroic actions if it chooses to use any of the Rituals of Ruins battle trait abilities, which is pretty cool. So this gives you, some nice extra range on them. And it's got its Devolve spell, which is a 7-inch to cast, 18-inch range spell. If successfully cast, you pick an enemy unit within range and visible to the caster until your next hero phase. Roll 3d6 before that unit makes a move, run, retreat, or charge move, and if the roll is greater than their bravery, the move itself is halved. So a nice sort of utility debuff control spell there. We then have 10 Gore as our baseline troops for the army. Gore are really solid. So first of all, you can choose between either going with Dual Blades, which will get you 3 attacks and a 5-up save, or Hand Weapon and Shield, which will get you 2 attacks but a 4-up save. Gore Stampede is really fun. If the Gore ever outnumber a unit they charge, they roll a dice on a 3+. They'll give Always Strikes Last to the opposing unit that they've charged, which is nice. They got +1 to run and charge, and they rally on a 5-up as well, which is really cool. Now we then have 10 Bestigore. As you might expect by the name, these are the best Gore. They're the more fighter unit of Gore, coming in at pretty much double the points of your Gore unit. You are going to get a 2-inch range axe that is 3+2 hit and wound, and you got a bunch of attacks on them with some nice rend. You also actually get extra attacks if your opponent ever chooses to use all-out defense against attacks from them. Bestial Charge as well is -1 to wound rolls for attacks that target the unit or when they've charged an enemy. The Standard Bearer and Musician, same as the Gore. Ungor and Ungor Raiders are the honest of the Gore. They are the weakest of our Gore units, but they have the same Standard Bearer and the same Musician benefits. Ungor on themselves, they have a really cool rule where in the combat phase they can choose not to fight and instead retreat. And the Ungor Raiders themselves provide some nice, decent range firepower for the army with their Ungor bows, and have a cool rule where if they're actually in Beastman ambush, they can shoot from off the table. The last unit we have in this box set is the Dragon Ogres unit. Dragon Ogres are pretty nice. They've got their Stormforged weapons, which are a 2-inch range, 5 attacks at 3s and 3s to hit and wound, rend -1, damage 2. The Storm Range rule is if this unit has made a charge move on the same turn, if a modified hit roll for an attack made by this unit is a 6, it will automatically wound, which can be really nice. And they've also got the Beneath the Tempest rule. At the start of the combat phase, so at the end of the combat phase, you can roll the dice for this unit on a 2+, you can heal up to D3 wounds allocated to this unit. In addition, at the end of the combat phase, roll the dice for each enemy unit within 3 inch, and on a 2+, that unit also suffered D3 mortal wounds. Now, for looking to expand upon, I would recommend definitely at the moment looking at grabbing some Galatian champions. Another Great Bray Shaman could be a great buy, but another option we have available to us with the Beast of Chaos is the Beast Lord. He's actually a pretty solid hero. So first of all, he's got 5 attacks with damage 2, which is pretty nice for a hero of his size, these little melee, and he also does mortal wounds on 6s to hit, which turn into 2 mortals, which is cool. His hatred of heroes means he gives out an aura buff around him while he's within 3 inch of any enemy heroes, a +1 to hit and wound for attacks with melee weapons to his friendly Beast of Chaos buddies, and his call to battle ability in the combat phase when you pick this unit to fight can bring in a friendly Bray Herd unit to fight alongside him. Now, if we're looking at maybe something else that buffs one of the particular things in our box set, then we could look potentially at a Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. This is the character option for the Dragon Ogres, and he's going to give some cool things. So he's obviously got the ability to heal wounds on Thunderscore units with his Summon Lightning spell. He's got Beneath the Tempest like the other unit, 5 attacks at damage 2 as well with his axe, and then also his Signs of the Primordial Storm ability on a 4+ can ignore the effects of spells and or the effects of endless spells. Slangor Fiendbloods are an interesting one. They've definitely got a big buff in the current book, where they're going to have 4 attacks with their Razor Sharp Claws at damage 2. They can also, once per game, do a double pile-in, so a nice, decent-sized unit of Slangor Fiendbloods could be a really great hammer for your Beasts of Chaos. They've also got the Slaughter at any cost, where at the end of any phase, if any wounds or mortal wounds were allocated to this unit in that phase, and this unit is more than 9 inch for all enemy units, they can move d6 inches. And so then we have the Beasts of Chaos Endless Spells. The Ravening Direflock is a particular fun one. I think models cannot issue Rally or Inspiring Presence commands while they're within 6 inch. However, this doesn't affect your Beast of Chaos units. And it also has the Stalking Shadow rule, where you roll a dice each time an enemy model issues a command within 6 inch of this Endless Spell, and on a 5+, the command is not received and the command point spent is lost. The Doomblast Dirgehorn, with its booming cacophony, has a range of 6 inch, and at the start of each subsequent battle round, its range is increased by 6 inch as well. Pretty cool. You subtract 1 from wound rolls for attacks made by units within range of any endless spells with this ability, and this ability has no effect on Beasts of Chaos. If this endless spell is removed from play, the next time it's set up, it starts at range 6, so you have to start again. The Wildfire Taurus, meanwhile, is the damage dealer around the spell, and also can pass around some nice Always Strike Last abilities. And so here we have our sample army list for you for the Beasts of Chaos. The 1,000 points on the nose, and we've actually gone for the Darkwalker's Great Fray. I really like this as a Great Fray. This just allows you to teleport a unit of Gore or Ungore every turn, which is just super cool. Now, we've got Protect the Herdstone as our grand strategy, which is pretty much what it says. Don't let people near your Herdstone, and don't let it get destroyed. A Beast Lord will be our general, and he's going to have the command trait Bestial Cunning, where he can choose 1 ambushing unit to deploy anywhere on the battlefield when they come in from ambush 7 inch away from enemy units. And then he's also got the Brave Blast Trumpet, which will allow you to summon a unit of 10 Gore, Ungore, or Ungore Raiders to the table as well. His aspect of the champion ability is going to be Tunnel Master, so he can do a teleport for himself. This would be good to get say a unit you want to be supported by him. And then we have 2 Great Brave Shamans, one of them with Tendrils of Atrophy as one of the spells, and the other one with Viletide. So Tendrils of Atrophy first means we're going to get some bonus damage. We target an enemy unit and we get +1 damage with our melee attacks when we target that unit. And then Viletide is just some direct mortal wound damage. We don't actually have a lot of range damage output, and I think having some extra range mortal wound that isn't actual shooting like this can be really important for taking out things like enemy Galatian champions. We then, for Battleline, have 10 Bestigore, 10 Gore with 2 Gore Blades, and 10 Ungore with short spears, because I just like having that little bit of extra shooting. Now, 3 Dragon Ogres are our other unit, and we've taken the Doomblast Dirgehorn in here as well for a perfect 1,000 points, 61 new wounds, no allies, no reinforced units, and a 1-drop, because everything is wrapped up inside a battle regiment. If you've got some thoughts or some ideas on your own Beasts of Chaos army list using the Vanguard box set, let us know down in the comments below. And so that is the end of the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And while you're at it, why don't you go join our Discord server, which is linked down in the video's description, where we have a bunch of amazing members of our little community here on the internet, chatting away hobby and all other things as well. With that said, if you'd like to help support the channel as well, you can do so either by Patreon or YouTube members, or by grabbing yourself some merch, and you'll get, yourself something in the process as well. Those merch can also be found in links along with Patreon and YouTube members down in the video's description at Ko-fi and Teespring. As a special thank you to our Patreon and YouTube members, we'd like to give them all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons, Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lowe, Outer Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Q Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Bloobs, Benjamin Swallows, Red Martin, Iron Grinch, Nicholas Conomos, and Colorblind Magic, and to our YouTube members Green Roots Gaming, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, John Castle, Davis Wire, James South, and James Tillman. Lastly, a special thanks to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for the channel, and to everyone who helps and comes and makes the battle reports possible on the channel, along with all our moderators on both the YouTube and the Discord server. Thank you all once again, everyone. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.